Because it is true that we may have blue Christmases, that we may struggle with loss, but while we struggle, we should seek to love again, that we are called to do the best that we can, and ask the Lord to relieve our pain and our sorrow. So we may struggle with finding that balance between dealing with the blues, following our bliss, and loving again. And as we've talked about before, we still have many choices to make. We can make choices that helps us get out of our suffering and struggle in a way that is more healthy. And it wasn't that long ago that I was at one of my favorite coffee shops and I had an interesting conversation with a person who'd been struggling with having hope and peace. And this man's name was James, and he somewhat looked a little like James Dean. And he always had that look about him where he looked like everything was all right. But I was wrong. He had 2 mortgages on the houses. He had a wife and a couple of kids, and he was severely depressed. And he was really struggling with the wintertime blues. You see, he had lost his job. He was struggling to make ends meet. He was struggling to provide for his family. And he struggled even to buy groceries. And he confessed to me that he was struggling with suicidal thoughts, and that he had called the hotline before I ran into him. So I had offered to give him a ride to the crisis center, and I prayed with him, and he took my number down, and then a couple of days later, he let me know that he was doing much better. That because he went to the center, he was able to talk to other people, other counselors. He had many prayers, and he was able to get himself back on his feet again. And sometimes when we are feeling blue, we need to reach out. We need to be willing to get help. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. It's not a weakness. Actually, it's a strength when we reach out for help, where we call someone, admit that we're struggling with the blues, we're struggling with sorrow, and we need other people's help. So I was happy to hear from him that he's doing much better, that he found a new job, and he started playing music again. So he had found his bliss as well. Because we know God is close to the brokenhearted, God is close to the depressed and the lonely, and God will help those who reach out to him, that they may get by, learn to find the joy in life again.